Welcome guys to this week's episode of Wolf Watch News. It's the 13th edition. So I'm your anchor Joseph and
I'm your anchor Shoshana, and now on to Mr. Marola with birthdays.
Good morning, Grey Wolves. Happy Tuesday. I hope you guys enjoyed the 3-day weekend. I know I did. I'm here with this week's birthdays, and let's start with 18-year-olds. We have Aldo Jimenez on the 20th, Lizette Juarez on the 23rd, and Jesus Juarez on the 26th. 17-year-olds, we have Kimberly Martinez on the 22nd, and Angel Hernandez on the 24th. 16-year-olds, we have Evelyn Saavedra on the 22nd. 22nd is a popular day. And Ricardo Robles on the 23rd. And last but not least, 15-year-olds, we have Renee Galvez on the 22nd again. Wow. And Dagberto Cabrera on the 23rd. Jacob Castro on the 24th. Yay, Jacob, happy birthday. And Cecilia Gonzalez on the 25th. Have a great week. Yeah, have a great week, Grey Wolves. We'll see you around. Bye.
Thank you, Mr. Marola, for that awesome birthday segment.
And now on to school news with Destiny, Tana, and Renee.
Welcome back, Wolves. I'm Destiny, this is Tana, and this is Renee, and we'll be talking about JSA, soccer, and basketball. JSA will be hosting Winter Congress on the 25th and the 26th, this Saturday and Sunday. Be prepared.
Our boys basketball team will face Gertz in the quarterfinals for the CIF playoffs this Tuesday.
So our boys varsity soccer team will be having their first playoff game this Wednesday.
Now back to you, anchors.
Thank you, Destiny, Dana, and Renee for that school news segment. I'm sorry. And do you have anything to say about it? Wait, actually, are you gonna go to Winter Congress?
Actually, I'm not. I am in JSA, but I'm not gonna attend to the Winter Congress. Well, now to take a political with Octavio.
Hey guys, I'm here with Kelvin. How are you doing today, sir?
Pretty good, how are you?
I'm doing fine. So I came here to ask you 3 questions. Question number 1, what are your opinions on the confirmation of Secretary of Education Betsy DeVos?
I think for our nation it sucks because she doesn't know anything about school, public education. So she really shouldn't be in that position.
Yeah.
So all we can do is hope that the government tries to combat her or something in a way to where she can't really influence our current situation.
All right. Question number 2. What are your opinions on the resignation of Michael Team Flynn? For those of you guys that don't know, Michael Team Flynn was the National Security Advisor for the Trump administration, but he resigned due to heavy criticisms of him talking to Russia behind, without the U.S. knowing.
I think it's not surprising. Being a part of the Trump administration and their alternative facts. But I do think that it's good that he did resign so that, nothing like this in the future can happen. But I do think it sucks that someone would pull some sneaky moves like that in order to, benefit their camp.
Yeah. All right, final question. If a rooster were to lay egg on top of a barn roof, which way would the egg roll?
Roosters don't lay eggs.
You are right, sir. Well, that's it for today. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Hey guys, good morning. I'm here with Ms. Diaz. She's the AP Government and Econ teacher. Hi, Miss. How are you doing today?
Good, thank you.
I wanted to ask you a few questions. The first one being, do you think that there's such thing as ethical hacking?
I think that hacking can be ethical, just depending on what the purpose is. Obviously, if you have the permission of the person that's being hacked, and a hacker is doing it to expose weaknesses in the system, it can be ethical. But at the end, it just sort of comes down to, like a privacy issue, really. I would never want my personal information put out there. And so for that reason, I would say that I don't consider it to be ethical, though there are some instances where it can be.
And the reason why I asked this is because I'm not sure if you heard about the recent thing in UC Berkeley where supposedly a group of students got together to hack the federal government to get kind of some data from the federal government that was going to be permanently erased. That's the reason why I asked this. Are you familiar with that?
I did hear about that, yeah.
Care to share your thoughts on it?
My thoughts on that. So first of all, I think it's awesome that we have these amazing tech students at UC Berkeley. I think anyone who can be a hacker deserves a whole lot of admiration because they have an amazing skill. But like any amazing skill, it depends on how you use it. It's like Uncle Ben said in Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. And we just have to decide as a society when it's okay to allow hacking to happen and when it's not okay. I mean, on the one hand, we want to say that we have a right as citizens to know what the government is doing, but on the other hand, a lot of information can be taken out of context and could be an issue of national security. So it's a question of how we as a society are going to come together and decide where the limits on hacking, unethical hacking, are.
So my next question is still in politics, but so after the confirmation of the Secretary of Education, Betsy DeVos, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. What do you theorize is going to happen to the future of education?
Yikes! That's a tough question. So I am going to withhold my own opinions on anyone at the moment, but I will say this. Congress is famous for moving slow.
What's the opposite of progress? Congress.
Congress, yeah. Congress moves slowly. So I don't theorize that there's going to be any major changes that will happen because we do have this excellent system of checks and balances, and things can't be done overnight. And as much as that frustrates some people, sometimes it prevents radical change from happening.
True. All right, Miss. Now this is the final question. This is kind of for giggles and laughs and whatnot. So I have a question for you. So if a rooster lays an egg on top of a barn, which way would the egg roll?
I didn't know roosters laid eggs. Do they?
No, they don't.
Oh my God! I was like, I had no idea. It's a physics question. I'm bad at physics. Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah, that's the right answer. Roosters don't lay eggs.
Oh man.
For the road. Right. Thank you, Miss, for being with me, and we hope to catch you guys. Hey guys, I'm here with Mr. Madonia. How are you doing today? He's
doing well.
AP World History teacher.
And regular world history. Didn't forget about you.
I mean, people mostly know you for AP, but whatever. My first question for you today is, what are your thoughts on AI?
On artificial intelligence?
Yes, artificial.
I would say that's actually a really good question. I think there's a lot of potential to free people from routine daily tasks. But then you come to the question of what happens when those people don't have jobs, or when jobs are replaced by machines. And I think a really interesting thing that people could look into is the support of Silicon Valley of kind of a universal income. It is really interesting because we are going to have to get to the point where people's jobs will just be replaced by robots, or by AI. So will we find new jobs for them? Will the economy make a shift the way that industrialization forced manufacturers or farmers to pick up new types of skills? Or are we getting to the point where there just will be nothing for people to do, which can also be very liberating. I mean, think of the things you could be doing if you weren't working. You could be doing, a lot of things. Are we going to get into this like Star Trek situation where everyone kind of just pursues science or exploration or whatever they feel is best for them? So yeah, I would say I'm optimistic about AI, certainly more optimistic about that than some other developments around the world, but it's definitely something we'll have to wait and see how politics and our political institutions respond to AI.
All right. My second question is, do you believe there's such thing as ethical hacking?
That's a good essay question right there. Ethical hacking. What do you define as ethical?
Well, what is ethics? First of all, ethics basically means what's right and what's wrong, right? do you think there's ever such a thing as hacking for right and for wrong?
Okay, if we define ethics as, you know, what's trying to decide what's right and what's wrong, is there conceivably ethics for good? Sure. I think if you have a state that is suppressing its people, you know, hacking in that regard and trying to well, you know, that's a really good question. But what is the purpose of hacking? What are you trying to do with hacking?
I think with hacking, you're just trying to expose something's weakness and kind of exploit that weakness, right? Depends on what you're using it for. You could either, you know, hack and exploit that weakness and let people know that there's a weakness in their system, or you can exploit that weakness for personal gain. So I think that the main purpose of hacking is trying to find those weaknesses and kind of, at least for me, kind of like tap into that.
Yeah, I mean that's a heavy morning conversation. That's really hard. I guess as long as hypothetically you are doing it because you feel that it is to the benefit of humanity, then I guess then sure. But you just run into so many other obstacles. Like, do people have a right to privacy? I think they do. You know, at what point do we draw the line? It's a very complicated question. Yeah, I think.
Yeah. I don't think you can answer that just like when it's...
No, not in the small segment. This might be a book.
So, final question.
This is a wild card question, right?
Yeah, supposedly. If a rooster laid an egg on top of a barn roof, which way would the egg roll?
Well, it's a rooster. Roosters don't lay eggs.
There you go.
All right. Yeah, tell that to Jose. Yeah,
all right.
Confused there. All right.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you, Octavio, for that Tech Political segment.
And now with Destiny and Ashley with the cool fashion segment.
Fashion. Today we will be talking about knee-length dresses. Knee-length dresses are in style now, and here are some images of the dresses. However, it just doesn't come in this style. They come in spaghetti straps, no straps, two-piece, and they also come in any color you like.
However, we'll be talking about ankle-length boots. Ankle-length boots could come in different styles. As you can see in the image, they could come in nude colors, they could come in black, they could come in any color you like. And you can get them at your nearest shopping center or mall that you can find them at, and they're for cheap also. Now back to Anchors.
Thank you, Destiny and Ashley, for that spectacular fashion segment.
And that will wrap up this week's edition, the 13th edition of Wolf Watch News. We hope you guys stay tuned. There will be upcoming content which is going to be better than this and the previous one, and it's get better and better, so stay tuned.